From this course, I have been able to learn the difference between religion and spirituality in education. I have gained a better understanding of how spirituality can be added into an adult learning environment and what the benefits are to the students.
And one of the things that I've learned most about this course is how to take the different learning styles and incorporate it into real life applications.
Due to my research with my group, I learned a lot about spirituality in the classroom and how important that is to engage spirituality in your learning. Coming from a public school system, I didn't really have that experience because it was very secular.
I found the biggest resource from the discussion boards to honestly be the other students, not only sharing their experiences, but replying back to my own. So using their experience to learn and understand and grow, but also then seeing how they interpreted the reading, how they were able to digest that information and then produce a really thoughtful statement about it, how they're putting that into theory in their everyday work. I found this resource to be really unique because we're doing it online, and it was very helpful not being in the classroom to have that interaction while it's not face to face, still be able to have that discussion piece that I learn really well from.
The discussions were very pertinent to real life experiences that I go through on a daily basis in my current position, and the course in general really gave me feedback on how to utilize the resources and the material and incorporate it into my daily life.
I enjoy the online discussions when we can share our experiences with a specific topic. I like to read the thoughts and feelings of others. This helps me to sometimes gain a better understanding of the topic when seeing others' experiences.
There will always be positives and negatives to online discussion boards. I know sometimes it can be kind of tedious to go on and make online comments every single week. And sometimes you don't really know what to say in your comments, and you do the stereotypical, Shannon, I agree. But I got a lot out of the discussions because I got to see what people got from our readings and how they made those connections with their current job, their background, their experiences. And then while writing my own, I realized how much I was able to connect to my prior knowledge.
I think as far as the weekly discussions, it brought to the forefront some experiences that I didn't realize or recognize, and I think that new ideas help create ideas, and brainstorming is what my group was very good at, and they showed me a different perspective.
I like that there was so many resources provided to help answer the discussion questions. I think that the professor providing those resources for the students helps the students to be able to answer those questions and build more knowledge of what is being discussed.
The theories were able to be then explained by those students in ways that are practical in my field of work. Also with other students working in education and higher education, having them explain how those theories are actually seen in their everyday work life was so helpful in allowing me to better understand how these theories are actually used in everyday practice, the value of each of them, and also the way to critique them in a really professional way.
When it comes to the theories we discussed in this course, I was very grateful for all the discussion posts and the fact that a lot of the information came from my own classmates. So in the discussion posts and in their group projects, I'm getting to see my own classmates make connections to these theories, and I'm able to make my own connections based off of their examples.
I learned from the programs how to design a program design project, and I really feel that that's important in higher education today. And so I want to incorporate that into my position and try to get on more committees to do so.
I think that the program design project gave me the opportunity to kind of step out of my comfort zone and research and study a topic that I was not very familiar with. The practice and theories learned through spirituality I can use in my daily work with the adults that I am teaching.
My 634 group was absolutely amazing. I'm very appreciative of you guys. Everyone got their work done in time. They're really good at communicating back and working together and asking questions when needed. But I do find that the group work can be very difficult being in an online class because you're kind of stripped of the opportunity to meet face to face, and it's difficult to find the time to even do like an online group meeting with videos and chats or phone calls. It can be really difficult when we all might be in different time zones. We have our own jobs, own schedules. Some of us might have kids, and it's just really difficult to find a time to meet together. But I think we use the app GroupMe really well, and we're still able to communicate, and I'm very grateful for my 634 group. Thank you.
I liked working in my groups. However, I felt a little bit of dislike in the fact that I'm a very nonverbal reader and I couldn't read the nonverbal expressions from my group members. We all came together on the groups. We all did our own work and I enjoyed working with them. It just would have been better for me in face-to-face settings. I've learned that about myself this semester.
Working in a group with people you don't know can be very stressful. I found it to be challenging in the beginning, determining what the plan of action would be to complete the assignments. I feel that when you work in a group, especially with people you don't know, it is important to be flexible because sometimes assigned tasks and timelines need to be adjusted to meet the needs of the group and the participants' individual lives. One thing I feel our group did a great job with was communication. We asked each other many questions when needing clarification on assignments. I feel as we worked well together in this group. Everyone was flexible when needed and reached out to each other and asked several questions.
I think to better support my learning, the class could have been laid out in a way that was a little bit more cohesive. Oftentimes I found myself struggling to understand when things were due. It was always not in the clearest format. And so I think finding a way for everything to be cohesive in one place, as well as a really clear schedule in terms of the group project, what the expectations are, and laying that out right away would have been really helpful. I feel like I hit my stride very late in the semester, where I would have liked to hit that sooner. Some of that could have been due to the changes in the professor, and that's unavoidable. That's just part of life. But just having a little bit more cohesion in the course would have been really, really useful in terms of my own learning experience.
One thing that I struggled with in the beginning was knowing where to find what I needed to be completing. I am a very visual learner. I think that's why I like online classes better than face-to-face classes. And I also had a hard time following those weekly discussion boards with all the highlighted colors. I would have to copy the questions into another document, change the highlight, and then answer the questions.
As I feel like this gave me knowledge to bring to my current position. I do a lot of training with staff, and I also educate a lot of adults with disabilities. So I feel like I can bring all of the knowledge from this course to better meet their needs. I'm very grateful for the course and my group members.
Overall, I feel like I've learned quite a bit from taking this course, from all of the online discussions, and through working in a group.
I would suggest for future students to clarify early, so ask lots of questions early on so that you're fully aware, and also dive right into your group project. Don't wait till last minute. The majority of the students in this class are working adults or just adults in general, and they have busy lives. So to make sure that you're staying on top of it and communicating effectively for however that works and looks for your group.
My advice for future students is to stay on top of communication with your group members, as well as to not procrastinate any group assignments. Just because you procrastinated and there's something that's an emergent question for you, an emergent situation, it doesn't mean that it's an emergent situation for someone else because they didn't procrastinate. So I would recommend having all of your assignments completed for the group project at least a week in advance. That gives your group members that are supposed to review, work on APA, submit to the blog, things like that, they have time to do so.